Hello students, I am Rajesh Kumar. Today I am going to teach you essay. My dear students, today I will tell you the definition of essay, key features of essay, types of essay, history of essay, as well as important essayists of English as well as American literature. Before I start, I'd like to tell you the definition of essay. And here is the definition. Any short composition in prose that undertakes to discuss a matter, express a point of view, persuade us to accept a thesis on any subject, or simply entertain. This is the definition, and let us try to find out what it incorporates in it. Any short composition in prose, here there are two qualities. An essay should be a short composition. It should not be a long composition like a thesis that is usually in 200 or more pages. So you would find that an essay is a very short composition, maybe of 10 pages or 20 pages or 15 pages, not more than that almost, and it is written in prose, although there are some works also which are considered as essays, but formally we can call the prose works as essays. So the very first thing which you have to consider is this, that it is a short composition. Second thing, it is written in prose. And then third thing is this, that it discusses a matter, right? And there is no limit of the matter. It can be anything, on any topic, on any particular matter. So it discusses a matter, express a point of view, and it expresses a point of view. That point of view is usually the point of view of the essayist, and it persuades us to accept a thesis on any subject. And when the essayist tries to convince the readers, then at that time he persuades the readers to accept the essayist's point of view on that particular subject. Or sometimes it is written usually to entertain. This is the definition, and these are the points which you have to remember. Again, I am telling you there are 4-5 things which you have to remember. One, it is a short composition. Second, it is written in prose. Third, it discusses a matter. Fourth, it expresses a point of view. And the fifth one, it persuades reader to accept that thesis on that particular subject. Sometimes it is written to entertain to the public. Aldous Huxley, a very famous writer, novelist, philosopher, he writes that the essay is a literary device for saying almost everything about almost anything. So that's the thing I told you, that it does not create a boundary of topics. Under essays, anything can be written on any topic. There is no boundary, there is no limit. The word essay stands for the French infinitive essayer, which means to attempt. Normally, the meaning of an essay is to attempt. And now, after having seen the definition of essay, let us see some certain salient features or chief features of an essay. It is different from any orderly composition like a dissertation or a research paper or a thesis, as it is less systematic than others. It is different from any orderly composition. As I told you, that an essay is normally different from any orderly composition, although some essays are written very systematically. But so far as thesis is concerned, research paper is concerned, or a dissertation is concerned, they are more systematic than any essay. Second feature is this, that it is addressed to a general rather than a specialized reader. Very much like the first feature I told you, that it is less systematic, and if it is less systematic, then it is addressed to a general public, not to a specialized reader or not to the readers of any specialized field. An essay could be read by anyone. An essay discusses, this is the third feature, an essay discusses its subject in non-technical fashion, giving a space to devices such as anecdotes, striking illustrations, and humor to increase its appeal. Dear students, as I told you that it is less orderly, less systematic, it addresses to the general public. So there is a kind of space to insert anecdotes, stories, striking illustrations in order to make an essay more appealing. So an essay has a kind of space to incorporate even those things which usually you can never find in a thesis or in a research paper or in any dissertation, because there a high order of systematicity is hoped or expected. But here the essayist usually uses these things. Anecdote, I told you this, those stories based on the myths or the are those demons or gods or goddesses, such kind of and stories they use. Striking illustrations, sometimes they use taking mythical stories from here and there, so in order to kind of make the essays more appealing. Dear students, after having a look on the chief features of an essay, let us see the types of the essays. The very first type of essay is the formal essays. They are known as impersonal essays. Formal essays usually are known as impersonal essays. In it, the essayist writes as an authority or at least as highly knowledgeable person and puts forward the subject in an orderly way. My dear students, here you would find that formal essays are also known as impersonal essays because the essayist does not reveal biographical facts related to the essayist in this type of essay. Normally, an essayist of this form of writing writes as an authority or as a wise person or a person of high knowledge and puts forward any subject or any topic in a very systematic way. Although it is less systematic, as already I have told you, it is less systematic than the research thesis and the or the dissertation or the research paper, but still it is more systematic than the informal essays. And Francis Bacon is one of the very famous formal essayists, and his essays are the excellent examples of this sort of essays. Then the next type of essay is the informal essay. They are known as personal essays. In it, the essayist assumes a tone of intimacy with his audience. The very first thing that you need to notice in informal essays is this, that they are known as personal essays because of the reason that the essayist reveals facts about his own life, about his friends, about his colleagues, about his family members, etc. And that's why here he assumes a tone of intimacy with his audience. It seems that he is very much intimate with the audience the way he reveals the facts and tends to deal with everyday things rather than with public affairs. And here he deals with everyday things, not he usually he does not take those matters which are related to the public affairs or to any specialized topics. Usually he takes topics from his own life that is not directly related in any way to the world outside, and he writes in a very relaxed, self-revelatory and sometimes a whimsical fashion. Charles Lamb's essays are excellent examples of informal essays. For example, you might have read the essays of Charles Lamb, kind of Dream Children, and there he explains how he dreams of having a good wife and some children. history of the essay. The Frenchman Michel de Montaigne was the first author to describe his works as essays. As I told you that the term essay means to attempt. And the first person was the Frenchman who assigns this term to his work. And he was Michel de Montaigne, who was born in 1533 and died in 1592. And after Montaigne, it was Francis Bacon who published his works with this particular title as essays. Montaigne began to compose his essays in the year 1572. The first edition entitled Essays was published in 2 volumes in 1580, while Bacon's essays published in book forms in 1597, 1612 and 1625. In the year 1597 he published 10 essays, in the year 1612 he published 38 essays, and in the year 1625 he published 58 essays. And this is how the journey of essays began in 16th century. And this journey was started by these two very great men, Michel de Montaigne, a French person, and a very excellent writer, a very wise person of Elizabethan age, Francis Bacon. Dear students, after knowing the history of essay, it is time to have a look of the important essayists of English literature, both American as well as British. And here is the list: Francis Bacon, Joseph Addison, Richard Steele, Samuel Johnson, Edmund Burke, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, William Hazlitt, Charles Lamb, Leigh Hunt, Thomas T. Quincy, Virginia Woolf, R.L. Stevenson, George Orwell, E.M. Forster are some of the popular British essayists, whereas Washington Irving, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, James Russell Lowell, Mark Twain, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison are some of the notable American essayists. And here this lecture on essay ends, and I hope that you will enjoy the lecture. Thank you very much.